Welcome back to Get Well Soon, the red pill content of Welly F, aka Moriarty. Back again sooner than I thought I'd be. With all this commotion going on in the world, I thought I'd just ruffle a couple of more feathers while I'm at it. Saw an article the other day by The Independent. I believe that's a UK-based news forum. The article is written by Maya Oppenheim. It's titled, Growing Numbers of Women Turning to Sex Work as COVID Crisis Pushes Them into Desperate Poverty. I'm going to read that one more time. Growing numbers of women turning to sex work as COVID crisis pushing them into desperate poverty. That is followed by this picture that says sex work is work. I'm definitely going to put this down in the description so you guys can check it out. The English Collective of Prostitutes, a leading campaign group which supports the decriminalization of prostitution, said hundreds of teaching assistants, waitresses, cleaners, and beauticians had made inquiries about starting sex work for the first time since the COVID emergency hit in spring. That's an excerpt by Reuters. Look. I don't need to go over this whole little article, but this is my perception of women in modern times. Most women were already on the doorstep of pure degeneracy anyway. You talk about teaching assistants, you talk about waitresses, cleaners, and beauticians. Like, think about that. None of those professions really push you to be a truly critical thinker or get a 4-year degree. Those are already, and not being mean, not knocking these people, but those are already what I would consider a low tier job for anybody in society. Those type of jobs are usually being taken over by, most of the time, depending on where you stay, immigrants or, younger people that are entry level. So when you're talking the age group between 18 and 21, that's one thing. You're talking an age group between 18 and 21 getting into that line of work outside of maybe a beautician, then I understand that. But if you go into this article, you'll see you're not talking about 18. You're not talking about college age women. You're talking about fully grown women over 40 years old. The article focuses on a 42-year-old. And the fact of the matter is, this doesn't surprise me at all because, once again, like I said, before COVID, which is now being they're using COVID as an excuse. COVID is an excuse to allow you to think that times are so hard, women had no other choice but to sell their bodies, when the fact of the matter is, for the past 10 years, women in a whole have been dumbed down by the indoctrination camps that they go to. I mean, you have women that graduate from college with four-year degrees and still do nothing with them. So you go 4 years to get you a liberal arts degree and you still end up in a strip club. It takes women 10, 15 years to realize, you know what, maybe I should get into a medical field. Maybe I should get into government work. And it takes them a while to mentally mature to realize that those jobs are more sustainable and they allow you to be tenured longer. But nowadays, women aren't seeing that. This new species of female, this new breed, they only know fast money. They only know get to the bag, secure the bag as fast as I can. That's what they know, whether it's white, black, Mexican, Asian, doesn't matter. If they're westernized, that is their mindset. Get to the bag as fast as possible. Let me get famous on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever. That is their primary goal. So when you try to put together an article stating that desperate poverty. They're trying to avoid desperate poverty, so they're trying to go into sex work. These extremely radical progressive people that believe sex work is honest work, because when they say sex work is work, best believe that's what they mean. They're letting you know off the back that me going to work and working in a factory, putting together whatever product I'm putting together, they're trying, and the product I'm putting together is going into society and benefiting somebody's life, so to speak. Like if I'm going into a rubber factory and I'm putting all the materials together to make basic rubber. Basic rubber is more beneficial than some hornball fucker that is sitting in his computer jacking off to porn. Like, you being a porn star, you being a hooker, you're not truly beneficial to society. If anything, you're a cancer to society. Am I 100% against sex work? I can't say I'm 100% against sex work, because me personally, I don't think that if you're a moderately attractive man, you should ever have to stoop to that level. Am I for sex work when it comes to the guy that just can't get it and it's bottom of the barrel? I'm like, hey, go for it. But when you get caught, you get what you deserve. That's how I'm for it. I'm for it due to the fact that, let me rephrase that. I appreciate that it is a demonized profession, so to speak, because in a way you can say it's a necessary evil, but we don't need to get it to the point where it's just over and abundant. Now, there's another side to that coin, because I can easily say that, once again, if you're a moderately attractive man, I don't think you need to go out and get a sex worker. I think you just need to go out here, meet you a chick at a bar or whatever, make sure you're using protection, get you a one-night stand. It's a hit or miss, but more than likely, you're going to spend $30, $40 on drinks, and you might get lucky, rather than you going to make this risky exchange with this woman that is probably going to overcharge you. It's probably not going to be that great, and it's probably going to be lifeless, and it's probably going to be dangerous, because nowadays, you never know who's hiding in a back room, who's doing whatever to set your ass up. So, in all honesty, where I stay, sex work is dangerous. I wouldn't tell anybody to come out here and participate in such a thing. I wouldn't go to Colombia. I wouldn't go to Mexico fucking around with any of that shit, because sex work, no matter if you tax it, whether you try to legalize it, I still think that it's a very scandalous, dangerous profession. And no matter what, it's bottom of the barrel. I may tell you, being a teacher's assistant, being a waitress, I may tell you that's a low tier job. Meaning, when I say low tier, I'm not saying that, you don't deserve respect. I'm just saying that it doesn't require much intelligence to do these jobs. It requires you to be competent in doing basic things. And I actually believe that your modern woman today, an abundance of them, are not capable of doing basic work without wanting to commit suicide because Johnny gave them a hard time over the phone. Look, yes, times are hard, but are times so hard that I need to go sell my ass to some homo that wants to get off on the fact that I have dark skin? Like, cut it out. Cut it out. This article is an enabler. This article is an attempt to make people think that sex work is work. It's honest work. And it's making you think that women weren't already leaning towards this anyway. Because once again, we live in a society where women love fast money. It's either before, I'm pretty sure you've heard other red pill content where guys tell you, man, there are so many guys going through divorces and getting raped for child support and alimony and all kinds of stuff. That's just another way for a woman to secure resources from a man. Sex work is the same thing. I'm not going to sit here and act like some women won't buy a female prostitute, but the fact of the matter is, this is just another way to target male resources. Because if it was men out here struggling on the doorstep of poverty, they would not be talking about legalizing sex work. Sex work is a conversation. The sex work conversation, to legalize it, is only a conversation because it is meant to prop women up and to help them avoid being the total failures that they should be. Remember, when you ride around your average inner city, downtown, at the parks and stuff, most of that homeless population is going to be males. You're going to see very few females out there. And that is because societies, local governments, the national government, whatever, their main design in almost everything they do is to make sure that women don't fail. So in 4-6 years from now, when prostitution is legalized and a bunch of women are getting pissed off because Susie is getting slopped up by Jenny, hey, you fuckers asked for it. It's a slippery slope. You might think you're being progressive. You might think that you're supporting something that's for the greater good. But the fact of the matter is, it's a slippery slope, because a lot of you dumbass women out there are going to get married one day. And when prostitution is legalized, you're going to be wondering why your husband isn't home. Well, guess what? You wasn't giving him none. So now he could just go over here to this sex shop vending machine, get his John slopped, and go home to you. And since it's legal, everybody's going to be looking at it like it's okay, because that's what people do. Once it's legal, people turn a blind eye to it and don't say anything about it anymore. See, right now, you're convinced it's for the greater good. But I'm telling you right now, there are many pros and cons to sex work. And I can guarantee you there are more cons to it. I thought this article was hilarious. I think that this type of indoctrination, this type of wordplay is going to work. I do believe that COVID-19 is going to bring about the Great Reset. And a part of the Great Reset is going to come a lot of degeneracy. So brace yourselves for it, ladies and gentlemen. You can sit here and say I'm just being a conspiracy theorist all you want. I don't care anymore. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. And my honest opinion is society does not want women to fail. Sex work should be illegal. And that's that on that. While you're here, you might as well hit the bell, hit the notification so you can get notifications. I don't post a lot. I'm not trying to get famous off this stuff. This is just my vent board. But if you like it, like it. If you want to comment, comment. I may not comment back, but whatever. Either way, I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Until we meet again.